Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kai here with another Exos Heroes video. And in today's video, I want to talk about how close Exos Heroes is from being a great game, and then what I think personally they can do to fix it. I feel like there's a glaring flaw in this game that I want to talk about. This is my thing that is very frustrating for me, and I really hope that they fix this with the next gearing system, because we're on rank 1 when it comes to gearing system. It seems like they're kind of waiting on rank 2. I'm really hoping rank 2 addresses this, because I feel like they're so close, but this is such a big issue with the game that is really frustrating for me. Okay, so it's kind of a multi-part issue, and I hope I explain myself well when I'm talking about this, but mainly it comes down to choice, and really the game doesn't give us much choice. What I mean by that is, first of all, is down to base stats in this game. So base stats in this game really limit you already off the bat, but mainly it's going to come down to base stats, and then it's going to come down to also the choices you have with gear. And let me try to explain what I mean by this. So the first thing is going to be base stats, where in this game, basically when a character has a certain passive, I don't really care that based on the passive, characters have very similar stats. Like counter characters all have very similar base stats. Marksman characters all have very similar. I don't really care about that. What I care is how big of a gap certain stats are. For example, marksman characters are always massively faster than every other character in the game. Like look at the speeds. So 178 for Vera. Yes, I have like a signature force and whatever, but still. So we have 126 speed on Rachel, and then 178 speed on Rara. That's like base stats. Like, yes, there's a little bit of increase here based on the gear, but look at how big of a difference that is base wise, just base. So then if I wanted to put any kind of difference in my gear, I have such a massive gap there to ever overcome that in this game, Rara always goes first. It just, everyone's speed is so set, everyone's turn order is so set that there's no choice here. There's no variance in like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go a really fast Ramj and I'm going to try to outspeed other characters. Yes, I might not be able to outspeed Rara, and if they put their gear on Rara, yes, Rara will always go first, but at least I have the choice to make it even a close race there. Whereas in this game, everything is so preset. Like batteries are always going to go like third, Rara's always going to go first, Irises are always going to go, fourth or whatever. Like I'm not trying to make like anything specific. I'm just trying to give an example of how this works based on base speed. And that's such an easy fix. Like you look at games like this, like Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, Marvel Strike Force, Raid Shadow Legends, all of them have base speeds. Like, yes, there's characters that are fast in those games, and there's characters that are slow, but they're not this far off. They're not like literally double. Like you have Rara here at 178. You have Tantalo at 72. It's literally double, and there's no turn meter mechanic in this game. It's just literally turn order, which is very basic. And like, that's not, I don't even want to complain about that, which I think is a missed opportunity. But still, every match is the same thing. The only variance is just the skin system, which actually I think is actually really cool. So I just want to throw that out there. But okay, so first of all, we have base stats, which are a massive problem in my opinion, mainly when it comes to speed. But then here's the real big problem here is I absolutely hate the system. And this is by far one of the biggest failures of a gearing system I've ever seen. It is the magic enhancement system. So this right here is our only opportunity. Okay, so let me back up. First thing is going to be gear, and why I don't like the gearing system in this game, because gear is always the same with very minor changes. So if I get a glove, it's always going to be crit damage, hit, attack speed, and critical hit, and in the same kind of distribution. That should not happen. There should be, in my opinion, there should be a choice here where whether it be rolls, whether it be something to where I shouldn't always have to have critical hit damage and critical hit. That's why the game is so, there's so much variance in the damage, where if you get blocked, you do almost 0 damage. When you do a normal hit, you do okay damage. When you do crit, you almost kill a character, because you're always, how the game sets the stats of these items is I always have to have critical hit. I always have to have critical damage. So it overvalues the criticals in this game, because I have no say into what I have. If I don't crit, then it's just I'm wasting all of the stats of that piece of gear. What if I didn't want to base my gear on critical damage and critical hit? What if I wanted to be able to choose that, you know what, I just want attack speed. Yes, I won't crit as much. Yes, I might not hit as much because I have less hit, but I'm going to focus those stats on speed. or I'm going to focus those stats on making sure my critical hits are more consistent, but I do less critical hit damage. Whereas in this game, it's every single character has the same gear, stats every single time, which is just not okay. Imagine how many changes would happen is if this was a random roll. Like, what if I got a roll of defense, block, and HP and HP percentage or something, and that was the roll for gloves? Then I would be able to choose, like, you know what, I'm going to put that on Tantalo. Yes, he might not crit, and that would infinitely change how many options we have on our gearing. What if we had a piece of gear that it rolls like 10 speed and no critical hit and no critical damage, and then maybe some like defense or something like that? So it's just a pure speed item with only defense. So you're never going to put that on like a Rachel, but you might put that on a character that actually like provokes, like on a Mahar, for example. And then now it's like, oh, I have a really fast Mahar that I want to provoke everyone. It would give so many more opportunities for characters in this game to actually be viable. So that's one thing. Then on top of that, so I think if they fix the gearing system, amazing. If they fix the base stat system, amazing. Then on top of all that, they have this horrible magic enhancement system. The one part of this game where we can actually adjust our stats in this game. Then they choose to make it like, I get so triggered with talking about this because, okay, so first of all, it's one of the hardest stats to get, hardest resources to get through embodiment of avarice. You don't get many per day of this resource. So then you take a piece of gear that you had to max all the way to 60, and then you get to roll it one time, and then it's going to random roll one of these stats. Then one of these stats, half of them are useless. So attack, 1 to 15 attack, trash. Defense, 1 to 10 defense, trash. 8 to 80 HP, trash. Critical hit damage, awesome. And then luck, we have no idea what it does. Attack speed, awesome. Hit, awesome. Block is good. Dodge rate, block defense, critical hit. So those are like decent stats, and then it could be a massive range. But here's the problem here is when you roll it and you don't get what you want, you roll it again, it doubles the amount of resources it takes of something that is really hard to get. Then it never resets. So if you don't get what you want purely off of RNG, you will ruin the piece of gear in about 3 to 4 attempts. That's how, what is that? You only have 3 to 4 attempts until it gets to the point where, yes, okay, you can keep rolling it, but then it's going to take a month to get all those resources to roll it again. Then it's going to take 2 months to get all those resources to roll it again, which is just stupid because this is the one opportunity where we can have any type of variance in our gear. What if I want to run a whole bunch of extra crit damage on this? Then I roll everything crit damage, and then my Rara hits like a truck, but you win attack speed, so you get to go first. You go first, but I hit like a truck. You know, like there's some options here. Or I want to put a whole bunch of block on a character. I want to put a whole bunch of hit on a character to make sure they never miss. This is the opportunity we have to actually differentiate our characters, and then they make it to where it's literally impossible to ever care. Then they have the precedent from last time, from pre-awakening, that all of this went away and we crush our gear into the next character, which is just another awful way of doing this. So this could be the change. Like, let's say they keep all the gear where it is, and that's the set rolls, but they fix this system. They need to make it to where it only costs 5 every single time and you can keep rolling it. Or they need to make it to where, you know, something to where you don't ruin a piece of gear after like four attempts. Like, look at this. I've done this 4 times and I got block defense for 2.4%. Then if I want, then you can double down on it. Like, let's say here's an example of a piece of gear that I actually like. Like, so attack speed, boom. That's really good on Rara. Like, I think attack speed's amazing. This is the thing I would want to have. Then if you look at the range from 0.36 to 0.36 to 3.6. So obviously I want 3.6. So it took 8 attempts. Look at this. 45 is the next roll, and then it would be a random roll. But if I click this hold stat, boom. Now they increase the amount. So now it takes 55, but now it guarantees attack speed. You would think that it would only guarantee higher attack speed. Nope. I could roll this 55 of this material and I can get 0.36. I can go backwards, which is so dumb. It's horrible. I've never seen a game that had something so basic like this. This system here is inexcusably bad in my opinion, because imagine how good this game would be. I'm equally as upset by how much potential this would have, because if they fix this, this would make the game so much better. Like, not just a little bit better, so much better in my opinion, because then every single character, it would change everything. It would change everything about PvP. It would change everything about how we evaluate characters. It would make gearing so much more fun. It would make every single character, we have to go back and then reevaluate all of them. It'd be awesome. But here we are. We're stuck with this garbage base stat system, gearing system, and weapon enhancement system. So there's my rant about gearing. I wish they would fix it. And I really hope they do a better job with rank 2 gearing. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. I had to rant about this. And I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.